And good afternoon. Welcome to the program today at the races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Tim Tullock on a beautiful Monday. Special holiday racing today for Columbus Day. We'll tell you about everything that's happening today. Let's recap. Yesterday I wasn't here, but I heard you had a big crowd up there in the sports book. Nice live racing, beautiful weather. It was good fall weather yesterday for a Sunday Carter racing.
The weather couldn't have been nicer, and we had a nice crowd. Everyone watching football, enjoying a little racing and enjoying a little football. And it's a short trip from the TV to the racetrack and back to the bar, and it works well in circles.
Yep.
You just keep going in that circle and you're in good shape.
Sounds like Mike Trombetta. He had another big day yesterday, so his barn keeps on rolling. McCarthy and Jorge Riaz, they had a couple wins as well.
They had a couple wins, and Jorge Ruiz wins another one for Jerry Brooks yesterday, and he won one on Friday or Saturday.
Right.
Also, so they're starting to heat up a little bit, but Ruiz just hangs in there. He just does a really nice job. Not very high profile, but he's starting to get more and more big outfits. Pay attention to him.
All right, so that was all yesterday. Live racing today. Let's get right to it. Columbus Day. Everybody's off. Come on out here. Celebrate the holiday with us. Big 10 race card gets underway at 1:10. We have a nice carryover for you in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to get underway in race 5 today. And there's the carryover, $5,132. The Robbie Bales first-timer, you said, knocked everybody out yesterday.
Yeah, Robbie Bales first-time starter, $13.40, did the most damage in the Rainbow Pick 6 yesterday. And it knocked a lot of people out because the rest of the Rainbow Pick 6 yesterday was pretty formful at the end of the day. But first-time starter for Robbie Bales, a good-looking first-time starter, too, by the way. So that was nice, $13.40.
All right, I like some nice prices in the first half and the late half of the card today. So we'll get to our handicapping and our plays of the day for today. But next Saturday, one of the biggest days of the year, Maryland's Day at the Races, the Jim McKay Maryland Million. This coming Saturday, October 19th, special first race post time, 12 o'clock. 12 races showcasing Maryland-sired thoroughbreds. We're going to have a kids corral, on-track events, Maryland Million hat contest. The gates are going to open at 10:30 this coming Saturday. You can get a $10 Silks room for the day. Includes a live program and Maryland Million hat. You can get into the Silks room at 10:30. Get your tickets, laurelpark.com/Maryland Million. A bunch of press releases on the website as well, laurelpark.com, about all the horses that are pre-entered for the Maryland Million. So one of the biggest days of the year. The weather's supposed to be gorgeous this Saturday, so come on out here for a big day. Lots of information, press releases, and information about how you can get tickets on our website, laurelpark.com.
Yeah, according to Keith Fustel, not only our morning line odds maker, but our resident meteorologist. Going to be nice weather next Saturday for Maryland Million. So come on out. It's always a great day. Come join us. Great racing, great fun. Great events in between the races, just tons of stuff, tons of fun.
Yep, and for all the horsemen, we'll have the Maryland Million draw for the Classic this Wednesday afternoon in the sports book. So we hope to see you there. So that's Maryland Million Day, the Jim McKay Maryland Million coming up this Saturday, kind of like a homecoming for the whole Maryland horse racing industry. All right, let's get right to today. Beautiful weather. It's nice fall weather, fast and firm. We're on the Kelso for the inner with the rail at 35 feet. The outers to Fort Marcy with the rail at 87 feet. Let's show you the weather conditions. In the 70s, sunny, little cloud cover, fast and firm. First race, 110. All right, let's get right to it here in race 1. Race 1's going to kick off the rolling super high 5. That's a low 15% takeout in the rolling super high 5. No carryover, but we have it every race with 7 or more horses. Keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 1, we kick off the popular early pick 5. Mandatory payout on the early pick 5 with an industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket. Let's check it out here. $48 ticket for the early pick 5. Race 1's a maiden 25 for 2-year-old fillies going long on the turf. That condition alone screams a wide open contest. So I go 4 deep in race 1. I used a 1-2 5-7. The 5's 9-2, and then the 7's 10-1 with McCarthy aboard for Ness. So maybe I'll get a price home here in the opener. My single on this early pick 5 is going to come. Race 5, I'm singling on a 2-year-old filly. Risky proposition there, but it's a nice allowance race, 5.5 on the turf. I'll single on the Linda Rice filly there. Light in the Sky. Vargas will ride. We have a video spotlight from that filly's big maiden score sprinting on the turf at Saratoga. So I single on the 2-year-old filly, the 8, Light in the Sky there in race 5. Let's take a look here at the opener. Maiden claiming 25,000 2-year-old fillies, 1 mile Kelso turf course rail, 35 feet. I have the 2 on top, Magical Luna. You have the 2 on top as well. So let's start right there. We have a video spotlight of this filly's last out, September 15th. She won and she was disqualified, placed second this day. She drifts out a little bit here, Tim.
Yes, sir. She drifts out. It was her first time going long, first time on the grass. She was just getting a little tired. She comes out on that other horse. It's not her fault. It's just something that happens as she got a little tired. Today will be a second time going around the ground. She's, for all practical purposes, she's already won this race. She'll be straighter. She's had a couple works since that last race to make her a little bit fitter, and you can guarantee that Chloe Gonzalez will have her right and ready today. But you can't take anything away from that last race. I know she got taken down, but again, first time long, she's just getting a little wandery. That's all.
And she'll like the firm turf today, and she'll get a ground-saving trip on the inside with Victor Carrasco. So we both have the 2 on top. I used the 7 in my exact big 10-1 price here on Playland for trainer Jamie Ness. Trevor McCarthy will ride the turf sprint at Colonial. That had trouble that day. Was checked at the 5/16th pole in that race, and then ran okay going a mile on the turf. Comes out of the same race we just showed you where Magical Luna was DQ'd. This filly finished third, beating 11 lengths in that race. She figures to take another step forward today. The Nest Barn, as they're having a solid meet, and they get McCarthy. They're McCarthy and Nest 23% together from a large sampling. So I'll take a shot here with the 7 Playland in my exacta on my early pick 5 at a decent price.
Yeah, and why not? McCarthy returns aboard Playland, and she's eligible to move forward. It was her first time going long in her last start. She laid pretty close and then just simply got late, got tired. So with that race underneath her, that mile race underneath her, she could run a bit better here today. She's 10-1 on the line. So if you like it, you're going to get a decent price, I think, on Playland. And for a Ness McCarthy horse, it'll be probably worth it to give it a shot.
And you have a decent price in your exact as well. The 4 Sunrise Memories, 12-1 for Jerry O'Dwyer, 2-year-old filly by English Channel. Tries long on the turf today for the first time. She gets first-time Lasix today.
First-time Lasix, coming off a little bit of a break with some works in that break, some good solid works during that time off, and she stretches out to a mile here today, coming off that 5.5 furlong turf race where she laid pretty close, and again, she just got a little late first time out of the box, but I like the fact that she laid close sprinting. She's probably going to lay close today, if not get to the front under Ashley Castrenzi. So I'm going to take a little shot here with Jeremiah O'Dwyer, who's just having himself an incredible year and an incredible meet here at Laurel Park.
Oh, yeah, I like one of his 2-year-olds later on today, one of the Jerry O'Dwyer 2-year-olds.
I like his name, My Friend's Beer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I have that horse on
starter.
top. Yep. All right, so that's later on. We both like the 1 Win Then Grin for Dale Capuano, who's having a strong meet. This filly by Gemologist, she kind of had trouble both her starts sprinting on the dirt. Now we try long turf. Fergal Lynch will ride. Lynch and Dale Camp, they won a couple races together recently, and Dale's having a big year with 2-year-olds, 29% in a positive ROI. So this filly could find new life stretching out long on the turf for the first time today.
No question about it. I really like this move. Her first 2 races, they haven't been bad. They haven't been spectacular either, even efforts in both. But now she gets on the grass for the first time. She's by Gemologist. She's out of a Giants Causeway mare. The distance should suit. The grass should suit. I would expect Win Then Grin to move forward this afternoon under Fergal Lynch.
All right, so maiden 2-year-old fillies going a mile on the turf, kick off the early pick 5. Let's turn the page. You like the early pick 4 today. Starts in race 2. A lot of speed in this contest. Let's check out your early pick 4, see how you played it.
They're a $27 ticket, a little bit more than I typically spend on the early pick 4. Could not find a single. I tried maybe in race 5, but I go 3 deep here using 2, 6, 7, race 3. the 158 as you see, the 589. And in the 5th, I use the 3 and the 6, maybe an Omen for Cal Lynch, second time turf, and Midship Lady dropping out of a stake on the grass, those two there. So $27 ticket. Good luck if you play along an early pick 4. And, you spread on your early pick 5. I think there's races in these sequences. You got a little bit more cash. I would spread it a little bit.
Well, let's take a look at race 2. A lot of speed in this race. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track to start the early pick 4, claiming 5,003 and up. Never won 3 or straight 3-year-olds is the contest here. The 2 higher purpose has speed. The 3 flat out mine with speed in here. The 6 Baytown Glory probably going to show speed. The 7 Zitarosa has speed, and you have Zitarosa on top with the leading bug rider Julio Correa aboard for Kieran McGee.
Yeah, I do. She gets back to the dirt in this start, and she drops to a lifetime low. And, she's just the kind of filly that always shows up. 8 starts, 2 wins, a second, and 2/3. You take out her first start of her life at maiden special weight level. This filly has run some nice races, and I expect the same this afternoon, especially at this level. Kieran McGee, and good off this type of layoff. So I think there's a lot to like here with Zitarosa, who's 3-1 on the line. She'll go off shorter than that, but that's okay to start.
I guess I just didn't get to her. How many times are they going to look a gift horse in the mouth here? Every time she wins a nice small field on the dirt, they throw her in a big field on the turf, and
they never learn, do they?
And she's 0 for 4 on the turf, and she ran a big race at Timonium, 2 back on the main track, then tried turf last out, and she weakened to finish 6th that day, but she gets back on the main track today, a 2-time winner here at Laurel Park. See if Zitarosa can get back in good form. I have the 4 on top here. A lot of speed, so I look for a closer in this contest. The 4, Relentless Lion, is a closing sprinter. Last time this horse won was closing at Charlestown, going 7 furlongs back in June. Ran an okay 4th against beaten 8,000 3 Life Company, 2 back at Timonium. That was a decent effort. Then 10,000 3 Life last out here at Laurel, going a mile. Didn't run very, showed a little speed that day, then got tired. That was going a mile, so I like to cut back the 5.5 today. I think if there's a hot early pace in this race, like I think there will be, could set it up for a closer here like the 4 Relentless Lion with J.D. Acosta.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. When I went back and I looked at my picks and I went over my picks and I saw Relentless Lion at 6-1 and kind of looked at her form and went, I might have missed here, because you're absolutely right. There's a lot of speed in this race. Running 5.5 furlongs for the first time in her life, she's going to have plenty to run at, as long as she doesn't get too far out run early. But you're right, and this could have been a miss for me and a hit for you.
All right, we both like the 2 in this race here. Higher Purpose going to be one of the favorites. First off, the claim for Annette Eubanks, the barn with a couple nice wins here at the meet. They get Tylia Bustina. So this this gelding, a 3-year-old, taking advantage of the dual condition. He's won 3 races already. The 2 Higher Purpose going to be one of the favorites here.
Yeah, Tylia Bustina, who rides a lot of horses for Jose Corrales, who Mrs. Eubanks claimed Higher Purpose off returns for the call, and that's a good sign, because Higher Purpose is simply in good form, but Tylia Bustina gets some run out of this filly. You look at her past 4 races, she's done nothing but good things. A win, a second beaten ahead, and a couple other good seconds. So you have to feel pretty good that Ty returns on Higher Purpose, and certainly suits for me. I have her on my ticket. You have her in Exacta, and I think she'll run pretty well today. And she likes 5.5 furlongs, 5 starts, 2 wins, and a second.
All right, and we both like the 3 as well. Flat Out Mine's going to be part of the early pace with the bug Kymar Trotman aboard for Jesse Cruz. This 4-year-old by Flat Out, a couple real big races sprinting on the dirt, and then they tried turf last out, and it didn't go very well. So now they're hoping.
Again.
We're hoping. They're trying to get back to what worked before. Hopefully, it's still there.
Well, what's worked before is this level. Look at her 2 races. The last 2 times she's run at this level, she's had a win by 7 lengths and a just beat second by a nose. So she gets back to a favorable level, which should be much better for Flat Out Mine here today.
All right, so we like a couple of the same horses there. Race 2, let's turn the page here. Nice big field on the turf for race 3. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Fort Marcy turf rail at 87 feet, claiming 16,000 filly mares 3 and up. Never won 3 or straight 3-year-old fillies is the contest. I think the 8 and 9 are going to be tough here. Janelle Dreams with Correa aboard for Kieran McGee. She could sneak in there at a decent price. You get 5-1 on Nana's Shoes with Daniel Centeno Sacramento getting back aboard for Hammy Smith. I'm worried about both the 8 and 9. I'm just hoping that McCarthy on the 1, Holiday Prayer, and Toledo on the 3, Liberal. I'm just hoping they can get better ground saving trips. That's my main reason for going with the 1-3 on top here. So I go with Holiday Prayer on top. Just missed at Delaware last out. Let's hope McCarthy just saves ground and can be coming late here on the 1, Holiday Prayer.
I think that's what will exactly happen. I think this one's made some steady improvement over her last 3 starts. I also believe that the 1.8 helps Holiday Prayer a little bit as opposed to that flat mile. Gives her a little bit more ground. She will probably lay a little bit closer to the pace and get a little bit better trip. She's going to get a nice trip from McCarthy down on the inside, and she could turn on the backside 1 or 2 or 3 out of it in a good spot with that inside draw.
All right, so I have her on top. You have her in the exacta. The 8, though, scares me on the outside, and I only go 1-3 here on my early pick 5 ticket here in race 3. But the 8, Janelle Dream's going to sneak away at a nice price. You're getting some weight off with Julio Correa aboard for Kieran McGee.
Yeah, and this is another one, unfortunately, for Holiday Prayer that I think benefits from the 1.16 here today. This is where she's run her life best race at this distance of 1.16. Her last race going a mile, they went a little bit quicker, 47 and change for the half, and she just got 2 outrun, and she made a pretty good run, only getting beat a length and 3/4, but we get back to 1.16 here today, back to this 2 lifetime level, and I think the pace scenario will suit her a bit better today, getting a little weight, and Kieran McGee just very, very effective with his horses that run a route of ground.
All right, so I like the 8. I use her. How about the 3 here? Liberal, Toledo aboard for Mary Epler. Second, she's had a little time off earlier this summer. This will be her 3rd race back. She ran a good second at this level back in mid-August, then tried tougher starter allowance last out, back down to an easier spot today. So I think the 3, Liberal, 0 for 5, but 4 for 5 in the money here at Laurel. I think she'll be right there once again today.
Yeah, and to steal a phrase from Keith Fustel, I've been chasing Liberal this summer and last summer and just not getting the job done. So I gave Liberal a pass in this race. Just hasn't is 1 for 17 in the last 2 years. So I'm going to give her a little bit of a pass here today. I mean, she shows up, she hits the board, she's run some decent numbers, but lately she just hasn't been getting the job done. So I went elsewhere today. It might be a little personal vendetta against Liberal. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to talk bad about her, but I just couldn't get on to her here today.
All right, so nice big, no scratches in here, right? No scratches. Nice big 10-horse field in race 3 going long on the turf. Another big field in race 4 going long on the turf. We kick off the middle pick 4 in race 4. We're going a mile on the Kelso turf course, rail 35 feet. Nice 40,000 starter allowance for 2-year-old fillies that have started for claiming 40 or less and never won 2. That's the conditions here for race 4. I take a shot here with Claudio Gonzalez. First time turf for the 6, Olives Bumpa, 2-year-old filly by Bourbon Courage, a sharp maiden score, 2 back sprinting on the dirt here at Laurel Park. That was going 6 furlongs, maiden 25, and then ran okay against maiden 30 last out. I'm just hoping the filly has a good foundation underneath her and will like the turf and will like to stretch out to a mile today. I like the nice lightweight assignment, 112. She only has to carry 112. That attracted me. Claudio and the 112 attracted me here to Olives Bumpa. Victor Rosales, the 7-pound bug, 38% with Claudio in a positive ROI. So I'll take a shot here. She'll be a decent price, the 6, Olives Bumpa.
Yeah, there's no question she's going to be a decent price, stretching out for the first time in her career, getting the turf for the first time in her career by Bourbon Courage out of an aptitude mare. Well, it doesn't bleed grass, but it's not too far off. I just thought there were other fillies in this race that run a route of ground on the grass that are a little bit more accomplished. But you never rule these Claudio horses out completely. His 2-year-olds have been running lights out last year and then again this year. And when he takes one from a sprint to route, he's pretty good too. First time dirt to turf, not as good, but you can't rule him out. And as you mentioned, he's getting some 10 pounds from a lot of the field.
All right, so I take a shot with the 6 on top. I'm 4 deep, though, in this race on my early pick 5. The 9, New York Rockstar, is going to be tough. Ness, McCarthy, sharp maiden score, going a mile on the turf right here at Laurel Park back in mid-September.
Yeah, this one, she's just never run a bad race. I mean, you look at her, look at all three of her races. First time going 5/8 on the turf, she only gets beat 2 lengths while running second. Then she comes back with 2 consecutive good races going a rattle ground. Now she turns back to a flat mile today where she did get the job done while breaking her maiden for maiden 40. She tried an A other than a little bit tougher. She might be getting some kind of class relief here, but this time of year with the 2-year-olds, a lot of them are non-winners of 2 or still A other than. But there could be a little bit here, but I like the outside draw for McCarthy on New York Rockstar, so I have her on top 9-2 on the line. And, this race is a little wide open. I think you're smart to go 4 deep here. I went 3 deep on my pick 4, so only because I had to save some money. So if you have a little extra money, spread a little bit here.
Well, a filly I didn't use is the 8, Life on the Edge. You have in the exacta there. Vargas aboard for Kelly Breen. Showed a lot of speed going long on the turf at Monmouth against Stakes Company in the sorority. This race, no doubt, an easier spot trying the turf for the second time.
Yeah, and Kelly's one of the guys who have been coming down with from Jersey and having some limited success. We've seen through the summer and the fall, they haven't been having the success that they typically have here in Maryland. However, that race 2 back wasn't a $100,000 stake at the Monmouth Park. It wasn't a bad race. It was her first time on the turf. It was her first time stretching out. Now she's going to get her second time on the turf, second time stretching out against better, easier company, I would think, coming out of that stake.
All right, another filly that gets to carry a lightweight assignment here. We didn't use the 4, but let's talk about the 4 real quick. Bucks Val, Cal Lynch, he's rolling. He's 32% at the meet. He's 30% with his 2-year-olds, and he hooked up with Grace LeBar yesterday for a win. LeBar on this filly by Broken Val. She had a nice maiden 40 score here, going a mile turf, and she only has to carry 112 today. So neither one of us used the 4 Bucks Val. She's 8-1. Just another filly that makes this a wide open contest.
Certainly. I mean, she's coming out of the same race as the 8 Life on the Edge, that sorority stake at Monmouth Park, and she got soundly beaten that day, getting late going a mile, but she gets back among a little bit better company in this 2 for 40 for all practical purposes, breaking her maiden for 40 and doing it pretty impressively first time going long here at Laurel Park. So yeah, I don't think you can rule anybody out. A couple good works since then, so I don't think you can rule anybody out. And as you mentioned, Grace LeBar got the job done in a pretty good looking ride yesterday, I might add, from Rebecca Grace LeBar for Cal Lynch.
Cal Lynch with 2 in here. We both used the 5 Val Luna, the X-Man, and Cal Lynch. They've been hot together recently, 57%, and a big positive ROI recently here in Maryland. Let's get a quick commercial break here. We have the pick 6 to get to. Nice carryover in that pick 6. It's over 5,100. Tim, you have a ticket for it. We'll check it out right after this.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet.
All right, welcome back. Today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 5 on the Big Ten race program. Nice carryover today. There it is, $5,132. Tim, you have a ticket. Let's check it out and see how you play a tough 2-year-old filly allowance race to kick things off.
It is, and I go 3 deep here. Wanted to go deeper, but I end up on the 3, the 6, and the 8 here in race 5. 3 maybe an omen, coming off a nice race for Cal Lynch, and Trevor McCarthy returns. In the 6, this is a tough race. I use the 1 Blue Eye Gold, my best bet of the day, but I throw the 3 Irish Colonel in also. No singles on my ticket, as you can see. 1-2-9 in the 7th, 3 deep in the 8th and the 9th, and I use 2 in the 10th, the 5, and the 6. $64.80 ticket. Good luck if you play along in the Rainbow Pick 6.
It's a challenging sequence, and don't scoff now at that the carryover. you see some carryovers in the six-digit land. We're only 5,100 here today, but they'll play it well today. They'll put about 6,000 new money into it. You get a couple prices home, and you can sneak away with a nice $11,000-$12,000 pick six score. Right?
Absolutely, and there's price potential in a few of these races today. So I wouldn't sleep on it.
Christopher Columbus, he wouldn't have minded a $12,000 score back in his day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he had the Queen. We had the Queen of Spain backing him. He was okay.
Right.
He was okay.
Well,
He's in good shape. He had 3 ships.
Well, yeah.
Come on.
Let's see if we can get live here in race 5. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy turf course. Rail at 87 feet. A nice first level allowance condition for 2-year-old fillies. Optional claiming 62,000. Scratch to 1 Princess Fausia. I end up on the 8 here. Light in the Sky on top. I single on this filly on my early pick 5. We have a video spotlight of her eventful maiden special weight score. She's wide here. She comes 6 wide at the quarter pole. She's going to bump around at the 16th pole, and then there she is. She's the 3 here on the outside. There you see her coming late with Jose Ortiz aboard. This was against maiden special weight New York breds up there at Saratoga. She was the favorite. This was only her second start, her first start on the turf. You just saw her there get bumped. She overcomes that, and she wins going away there, but by a length at the end. So that they tried getting her on the turf in her debut. That came off the turf. She won her second start on the turf. Then they went to Finger Lakes to try. That's kind of a race you can't pass up, a restricted New York bred race for $100,000 at the Finger Lakes. I can see why they tried that, but it looks like she probably likes the turf better. The second and third place finisher in that race we just showed you, they both came back to win. So that was a very strong win for Light in the Sky up there at Saratoga.
Well, how good was she that day? I mean, she was so wide in the stretch. You could have handed Jose Ortiz a hot dog and a Cupid doll, as we used to say at the fairs when a horse was wide. But then dead game, getting bumped around late in the stretch,
yep.
and still getting the job done. And you're absolutely right. Take her to Finger Lakes. You're probably going to get a soft field. She didn't handle the dirt. She gets back to the grass today. I don't have her on top, but I still like her, and I'm not going to talk anybody off of a game filly like that who showed her mettle in her second start of her life.
All right, so I have her on top. You pick her third. The 6 we both like here, Midship Lady, a nice maiden special weight win, sprinting on the turf here at Laurel. Big 64 buyer that day. And then they tried going long in the Salima last out, and she showed speed and finished 4th in that race.
Yeah, too long, too tough. I love these horses that turn back, as Midship Lady is today, getting back to the distance of 5.5 furlongs where she ran a good solid number, 64 for a 2-year-old filly. That's a good number, a work since that last race on the 21st of September. So I'm going to take Midship Lady and Javion Toledo on top here. And Javion Toledo and Phil Schoenthal, they've been quietly going through the year, having a nice year. They're winning at 23% when they hook up recent winner Jabuta Kaba also. So they're having a nice summer also. But I'll take Midship Lady 7-2 on the line on top in this spot.
Yeah, she'll be tough. She's the local filly. She's stabled here. She doesn't have to ship, so she has that going in her favor. And you're right about Toledo and Schoenthal. Big positive ROI together here in Maryland. Let's take a look at the 3. Maybe an omen. Trevor McCarthy, Cal Lynch, a big win last out, 55 buyers, but she won wire to wire. McCarthy going to probably try to steal it right away on the front end in this race.
Yeah, breaking from the 2 hole. You've got that horse, the 2 Determined Love, on the inside of Phil Schoenthal's, who might make it a little difficult for the lead. That one's coming out of some races at Charlestown, and he's got Midship Lady who wants to lay off of it a little bit, so that could be a bit of a factor. But look, maybe an Omen got on the grass for the first time in her last start, and she showed up, and she showed up big, gearing down basically at the end. She ends up winning by 3, opening up by 5 in mid-stretch, but a work sense, and she moves forward again on the grass here today, and I expect she probably will for McCarthy and Cal Lynch, and she could be very, very tough in this spot.
How about Anthony Pecoraro here with this Munnings filly. She ran well in the sorority at Monmouth, a good second that day going long on the turf. Then they tried the Salima here at Laurel. Now they cut back to a sprint today with Jeremy Rose aboard.
Yeah, look, she's dropping out of 2 stakes, back to an A other than here today. A couple work since, turning back in distance. She's never sprinted on the turf, but she ran a big race going a mile on the turf in the sorority where she just got beat a length and a half while running second. So yeah, you cannot throw out Rising Bella and Jeremy Rose, Anthony Pecoraro. And Anthony might show up again today. He was here he was here yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah, the Peck made a guest appearance. He might make it 2 days in a row.
Well, it's Columbus Day. He has to come out today.
He's got some pedigree there.
Yep, he'll be here. All right, so a nice allowance group for 2-year-old fillies sprinting on the Fort Marcy turf course to kick off the pick 6. Good luck getting live there in race 5. Let's turn the page here. Late pick 5, no carryover today, but late pick 5, as always, has that industry low 12% takeout. Starts in race 6. I have a ticket. Let's take a look here. A very affordable $30 play, and if this ticket hits, it could pay big. In race 6, I used the 2 favorites, the 1 Blue White Gold and the 3 Irish Colonel. Race 7's wide open. That's a maiden 2-year-old claiming 40,000, 5.5 on the dirt. I go 5 deep there with the 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. Race 8, I used the 1, 3, 5 there in that contest. Let's see, a couple good prices. The 1's going to be the favorite, but the 0 for 1 on the turf, and this race is on the turf. So the 5 Lovely Sunset's a decent. The 3 Lovely Sunset's a decent price, and the 5 Jumpin' Nancy I have on top in race 8 at 6-1. So maybe I'll get a nice price home in race 8. Race 9, I go with the 3, 5 there, the couple favorites. Then there's my single on the late pick 5. I single on the 3 Stormy Patriot from the Susan Cooney barn, 10-1 morning line. Daniel Centeno, one of my favorite turf riders, gets back aboard the 3 Stormy Patriot today. Susan Cooney has positive ROIs in 3 categories I'll tell you about once we get to race 10. But I single on a 10-1 shot, the 3 Stormy Patriot with Centeno in race 10. Let's take a look here. Race 6, one of our features of the day. A bunch of salty campaigners in here. We're going 6 furlongs main track, claiming 25,000 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 2 Royal Crusader. We like the same 4 here. Let's start with the 3 Irish Colonel. Now he's 0 for 7 at Laurel Park. That's the only knock against him. But he has been second once and third twice. He's won 2 of his last 3 for Jamie Ness. Trevor McCarthy rides. It looks like Ness has this 6-year-old made almost 400,000. Looks like he has Irish Colonel in top form right now.
He's in very very good form. But you're absolutely right. Laurel Park seemed to has been his Achilles heel. Now his last 3 races, look, he's been in really really good form, and you can't take anything away from him. But it's probably just a slight of a step up here into this 2 other than at Laurel. This 25,000 at Laurel. This 25,000 is pretty tough and pretty wide open. I like him. He's in my exacta, but he's going to have to overcome Laurel Park. And 3 races ago at Parks, I mean, he ran a huge race, ran an 87 Beyer speed figure. So the races are in him. They just haven't been in him here at Laurel, but maybe he can overcome today.
And the last time we saw him here at Laurel Park earlier this year, he was running against third level allowance company. So he finds an easier spot today with the 1 Blue Wide Golds in good form for Tim Kreiser, who's won 2 of 3 starts this fall. Made he's 27% on the year. The Kreiser barn having another big year, and this 9-year-old's made almost 400,000 himself.
Yeah, this is my best bet of the day. I mean, he's been running solid races against similar to optional 25, 2 other vans up there at Penn National. But look at the last 2 races he's run at Penn National. Look at those fractions: 21-3, 44-2. 2 races ago, 21-1, 43-3, 107-3. 2 starts ago. He's been hooking some fast horses. So I think he might in some sense be getting a little class relief today out of those very, very fast races at Penn National. And, nobody's automatic, but as far as trainers coming in, shipping from out of town, Kreiser is about as close as you get when he comes here here to Maryland as automatic, and Dana Whitney, longtime perennial leading rider at Penn National, comes in to stay aboard Blue White Gold for Timothy Kreiser.
All right, so with the scratch of the two Royal Crusaders, a 5-horse field, and what a rider's race this is going to be. You mentioned Dana Whitney. He's a proven veteran rider. He's been around for 100 years, it seems like. Trevor McCarthy on the Colonel, Toledo on the 4, Sir Orinoco, and Russell, Sheldon Russell on the 6, Daily News, and then you have Taylor Hole, a seasoned veteran rider, on the 5, Birdie's Honor. So what a rider's race. The 4, Sir Orinoco, he's no bum, and neither is Daily News. They just ran 1-2 against each other against Starter Allowance Company. Let's show you that race from August 9th. It was the last race for Sir Orinoco. He hasn't run since this day, and Sir Orinoco's the 7 in front, turning for home on the outside. The 6 Daily News is coming behind him. All right, so Sir Orinoco is gonna get in front and win by a nose. 79 buyer. Daily News rallies to finish second, just gets beat a nose. They both get a 79 buyer. Now, since then, Daily News came back to run just okay against 2 other than Allowance Company. Sir Orinoco's been rested up since this race.
Yeah, and this is what Daily News does. He kind of lumbers up along the outside. I've never been a big fan of this horse. Always kind of gives you a little bit of a heart, gets your heart going, and then just doesn't seal the deal. He's a big horse. He's just kind of a lumbering type. He'll grind out a piece of this race, I'm sure, but that's basically what he does. Just grinds out pieces of races unless he's tons of best. That was a good race in his last start, no doubt about that. Comes in here with a couple works, at least one work, a nice half-mile since then. And Sir Orinoco, the 4, look, on his best race, it puts him right in here. And he's run some good races this year going back to this past April. In fact, he hasn't been worse than second since this past April, and running some big races. Comes in off a little bit of a layoff for Mike Juralis with a couple good works. And they're well-spaced works. He ran on August 9th. He didn't work again until September 12th, and then not again until October 5th. That always is a little bit of a question for me, whether he's going to be have his best stride here today. But I respect them. I respect them both. They're both on my ticket.
Well, it's a good thing we showed the video spotlight of Sir Orinoco and Daily News. Your horse, Sir Orinoco, is a 6-time winner here at Laurel. He's made $151,000. Daily News, a 5-time winner here at Laurel. He's made almost $200,000. Well, we both go. Your top pick here, 0 for 2 at Laurel. My top pick, 0 for 7 here at Laurel Park. But that's the kind of race it is. And then you have Taylor Hole sleeping he's going to be.
You know where he'll be.
He'll be trailing the field, turning for home.
He'll be out the back door and coming.
Hoping there's a fast early pace coming late on the 5, Birdie's Honor. So a nice group of salty campaigners here, sprinting on the dirt in race 6. Let's turn the page. Late pick 4 starts off in race 7. I'm looking for a little bit of a price here in race 7. Maiden claiming $40,000 for 2-year-olds, 5.5 furlongs on the main track, and I'm just playing the barn here. I'm not worried about the breeding or any of that stuff. I'm just playing the Jerry O'Dwyer barn here with the 2 My Friend's Beer by Stay Thirsty. All right, the breeding's good enough, and this horse been working well enough right here at Laurel Park. It's a Maryland bred, so he gets to try the maiden 40 and for the waiver. Fergal Lynch will ride this barn. It's been red hot with the 2-year-olds this year and having a strong fall meet.
Well, the second dam was by Seattle Slew, and the first dam did not run. But look, this first has been working well for an outfit who's very, very good with their young horses. Good gate work, September 7th, 48 and change from the gate for a 2-year-old. That's a strong work. Followed that up from a nice work from the pole on October 5th. So this one's working well. You're getting Fergal Lynch. You're getting Jeremiah O'Dwyer, My Friend's Beer. And I like the name.
Sure.
I'd rather have my beer, but I'll take my friend's beer. But that's cool. I like, and this horse is blowing up Twitter, by the way, this morning. My Friend's Beer.
My Friend's Beer.
My Friend's Beer was blowing up Twitter. So there's lots of steam on My Friend's Beer.
All right, well, Designated Hitters Racing LLC. They'll have a big group out here, hopefully rooting on My Friend's Beer. We both use on top. Now the 9's going to be tough here. Whiskey and You, a Maryland bred by Frisian Fire for Roy Peacock. Big improvement. Ran okay against maiden special weight in debut, but then went right to the front last last out against Maiden 40. A good second. That was first time Lasix, first time Kevin Gomez. Gomez back aboard today. So speed on the outside. The 9 Whiskey and you is going to get a real nice trip probably.
Yeah, keeping with the drinking theme on this Columbus Day. Look, that was a nice race. He ran second time out when dropping to the 40. The outfit definitely most likely needed that first race, and it was probably too tough. This horse is eligible to improve here if some of these first-time starters aren't as good as we think they might be.
All right, real quick, let's talk about the one where we're out of time. A couple more races to go. The one Toy, though, is a homebred for Dark Hollow Farm out of a good mare, Plum, by Tapazar for Trombetta, the Trombetta barn. They're rolling, having a strong weekend and having a strong fall meet.
Working well with a good pattern out of a stakes-winning mare. Won 4 of 13 and was a stakes winner. So a tough inside draw, as we always talk about, but Trombetta has been getting the job done with his 2-year-olds.
All right, so it looks like we have the same 3 fillies on top there in race 7. Let's just talk about our top picks here in race 8. Big field going a mile on the Kelso rail, 35 feet, claiming 30,000 for filly mares 3 and up. Never won 4 or 3-year-old fillies. That's the condition here for race 8. Let's start with the 1, Neva's Girl, because Neva's Girl is your 8-5 morning line favorite. She's a 3-year-old filly who's won 4 times, taking advantage of the dual condition, but she's 0 for 1 on the turf, and she's on the turf here today. I use her in my top 3, but you have her on top here.
Yeah, she was a maiden at the time. She's got a lot more experience than she did then. She's in really, really good form. She's cut out to be on the grass by Giopani out of a rock-hard 10 mare. I like Neva's Girl, and Jamie Ness and Angel Suarez is back in town.
I'm taking a shot here with Sheldon Russell and Susan Cooney on Jumpin' Nancy. Jumpin' Nancy ran the comeback race. That was on the synthetic at Presque Isle. Then ran a decent 4th here at Laurel Park against 16,000 company. And then they tried too tough of a starter handicap, and then a starter handicap at Colonial, and then they sprinted on the turf last out. And she ran well on the sprinting on the turf last out. Sheldon Russell back aboard. I'll take a shot here with the 5 Jumpin' Nancy, who we should get a nice price on.
Yeah, you'll get a nice price stepping up. Susan Cooney, Sheldon Russell, 2 of my favorites. So if they get the job done, that'd be fine with me.
Well, let's take a look here. Race 9 to kick off the late daily double. A nice 5,000 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track. We both have the 3 Reign Supreme on top. We both have a code 3561. Let's show you a video spotlight of Reign Supreme's last race, September 28th, right here at Laurel against this same kind of nickel starter allowance field. She's the 3 rallying on the outside in the red silks here.
Yeah, she runs a big race here, and Reign Supreme has basically owned the 5,000 starter division for fillies and mares over this past year. Winner of it 2 of the last 3 times it's been run, just beat in one of the others. So she pretty much owns this division right now if she can run back that race, and she's capable of running good ones back to back. She won 3 in a row earlier this year, and if she comes back and runs that type of race, she'll be just fine in this spot here.
All right, so we both have the 3 Reign Supreme on top. We both like a 3-5-6-1 there in race 9. We're out of time, but one more race, a big field here to wrap things up. Race 10, we're going a mile and a 16th on the Fort Marcy turf course rail, 87 feet. Maiden claiming 16,000, 3 and up. I go with the 10-1 shot on top here. I like Susan Cooney on a couple decent prices today. The 3 Stormy Patriot for Susan Cooney. The comeback race in June at this maiden 16 level, a good second that day at 18-1 with a 7-pound apprentice. Then they tried maiden special weight going a mile and a half with the bug. Ran okay that day. And then Centeno was aboard, an all right 3rd at Colonial, 2 back. And then that was an amateur race last out. Beaten favored last out. That was an amateur race, so forget about that. Daniel Centeno gets back aboard for Susan Cooney today. Susan Cooney from a 146 horse sampling on the turf, a nice positive positive ROI, routes positive ROI, maiden claiming a positive ROI, all from large samples, and Centeno's won for Susan Cooney recently. So I'll take a shot here on the 3 Stormy Patriot at a big price on top.
And why not? This race is wide open, and that's how I land on the 5 Stucco first-time starter going around a ground for Dale Capuano on the turf. How often you see Dale do this? Like never. So he must feel, this one's by Bodemeister out of a jump start mare. Doesn't show a lot of speed in the morning, but a lot of works, a lot of long works. I'm going to take a shot with Stucco. And by the way, Trevor McCarthy is named.
All right, so a nice big field. The 10 Wise Men is going to be one of the favorites. This horse, a maiden, they tried a starter handicap last out, going 1.5 miles at 30-1. You wonder how much that race took out of the horse.
Yeah, Wise Men. Some horses you get this feeling about. I get the same feeling of Wise Men as I have for Daily News. Just nothing does it for me.
We both used him in the exacta, but he's 0 for 13 getting to the winner's circle.
Yep.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Big field in race 10, a bunch of big field. I think it was race 5, that allowance of race for 2-year-olds to kick off the pick 6. That's the race we spent a lot of time on. That's a tough race to kick off the pick 6 today. Beautiful weather. Come on out. Celebrate Columbus Day right here at Laurel Park. Christopher Columbus was a big racing fan, so we'll have a big crowd out here today.
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Good luck today.
All right, Rodman's coming up next with Scratches and Changes.